Farm for Profit Podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm for Profit Podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm for Profit Podcast.
Welcome back to the Farm for Profit Podcast. My name is Tanner.
I'm Corey.
And I'm David.
We are hanging out here at Farm Progress Show, sitting in the Sukup booth. We've had such a beautiful weather and such a beautiful view of this IndyCar that we have enamored over.
Yeah, I tell you what, there were so many people in here this morning, and Kyle was not here, and they kept asking me questions. I just started saying that I was the driver.
Hey, that works. Yeah. That's what I'd be doing too. So
some guy said, "How do you fit in there?" He's like, "Look, man,
Yeah.
I can fit."
I actually looked at it. I'm pretty sure that's my seat that's in there, which I was surprised of. So, yeah, there's not a lot of room in one of those cars. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, before we get too deep into this, Corey, why
I'll
don't
get
you
him introduced.
give
Yep.
him an introduction?
Yep. Today on the Farm for Fun show, we meet up with a man that likes to go fast. He may not be on his beaten path. He is here at the farm show, but normally he's on the racetrack. He has been racing since he was 4. He is the only driver to win the championship in all 3 divisions of the Road to Indy ladder system. He races IndyCar for Andretti Autosport and recently sported the Sukup car at the Iowa Speedway. Please welcome the number 27, Kyle Kirkwood.
Appreciate it.
Is it 27? Because I thought on your website it said 17.
17.
I swear, maybe it was a glitch.
Yeah, no.
That's why I had to look over there.
It's definitely the 27 car. That's actually a very historic number for the team, for Andretti. So the 3 cars that we have are the 26, 27, 28.
Okay.
And that's symbolic through the team. And that's pretty normal across most teams that you'll see. They stick with their numbers, at least here in the U.S., right? Like you look at Dale Earnhardt or Dale Jr., they run the 8 or the 88, right? Like that is symbolic with them. So
yeah, I was going to say, when I think of just cornerstone Autosports, I mean, Andretti is like top.
One of the biggest ones, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We had to bring out the headsets just so you felt like, maybe you'd sit in your crew chief position. Be able to radio back and forth during this interview. Fix this dang car.
I was listening to at the NASCAR race, and I said, man, some guys get pretty harsh on there.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that yesterday too. That's it's a thing because you need to get the point across very quickly, and you're very direct. And I'd say in most case scenarios, the engineers or strategists or your crew chief in NASCAR don't take it to heart, right? They're just getting their point across, and they can get frustrated, very animated in the car, and that's very normal.
I think Rachel could take something from this. Like when we're mad, we're not mad. We're on the same team, right?
we go.
Get the point across.
Listen.
Yeah, she's in the same way back. Yes, it's reciprocal.
We did give you kind of a nice welcome into the booth. We fired up both the pulling tractors out front.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Horsepower
that
recognizes
was
horsepower.
Yeah, what is the horsepower of one of these things?
So that's a good question. So we're about 700 horsepower. That's the normal power unit, but then we have 2 additional, which gets a little bit confusing. We have the ability to use push to pass, which is 200 seconds, 150 or 200 seconds in a race. We'll have the ability to have 50 extra horsepower, and that's all that's doing is increasing the boost. And I think it's from 1.5 bar to 1.7 bar. I don't know what that conversion is in PSI.
Yeah.
But and then we also have a hybrid unit, so we're able to harvest some energy on corner entry or on part throttle, and then deploy that energy for a short period of time, which is another 50 horsepower, so or equivalent to. So we're right around 800 when you're using all the power that's available.
That's like a button on the steering wheel?
Yeah, and they're actually both buttons on the steering wheel that we can use to.
Does yours, Gone in 60 Seconds, say "Go baby go"?
Honestly, you don't really have time to ever look at the dash. You're glancing down for references, and then you're back up. So
harvest season is here, and so is your competitive advantage.
That's right. The Estes XPR3 concaves are a total game changer. Think one concave, all crops, no bands, no switching. From wheat to corn, soybeans, you're rolling non-stop. Backed by their patented technology with 250% more threshing surface, you get cleaner grain, fewer fines, and beast-level capacity, all without trading combines.
If you're interested, visit EstesPerformanceConcaves.com to upgrade your combine today. Estes XPR3, harvest smarter, faster, and better.
So you have the one, but you can only use so many times.
Yes,
150,
exactly. So
200
the
seconds?
hybrid you can use whenever you want,
As long as it's
as you're charging it, right?
Yep.
You have to charge it to use it. And the other one is, you get 200 seconds, but it also burns more fuel when you're using that, right? More power, more fuel.
Right.
So it also comes into strategy for how much you're using there. And you got to remember the car only weighs about, the dry weight's about 1,700 pounds. So 800 horsepower, 1,700 pounds. The power to weight ratio is pretty high in one of these.
But there's no motor in this one right now.
There's no motor in this one. We were talking about that a second ago. There's no motor in this one currently. That's because you can only do about, I forget what it is. It's somewhere between 1,500 and 2,500 miles on a motor. And as soon as that motor comes out of the car, they melt it down just because there's so much sensitive information that they don't want competitors taking from it.
Really?
Yeah, so the development on one of these engines is absolutely incredible, and they don't want anyone finding out about it. So anytime the engine comes out of the car, it just goes straight back to the factory, and they melt it down, and that's the life of it.
And is that the same for all motors? I see you got Honda
Correct.
on the side.
So it's Honda and Chevy are the two main manufacturers in the IndyCar racing series. So and they both pretty much do the same thing.
Okay.
It's very, very similar.
And Corey was sweeping up the fuel earlier.
Yeah,
Had a little bit of fuel leak.
Was there actually?
No.
Oh, okay.
There was actually corn kernels.
Oh, okay.
Because they're fueled by ethanol, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% ethanol.
So it was raw fuel, like pure.
Yeah.
Not even
in the
fuel.
raw form.
How long has ethanol been involved? Do you know?
A few years now. Well, when we went to 100% renewable ethanol fuel was 2 or 3 years ago, but it's been involved for many years, and it's part of the initiative to make it more green and keep our racing on an innovative and renewable side of things.
Well,
right?
it's high octane, right? That's what you need.
Exactly. No, ethanol is actually, I think we actually made more power when we went to full ethanol, if I'm being honest.
Wow.
It was actually an increase in power. So it's been great for us so far, and we live around it. So
Well, this interview, we jumped straight into the car
know.
itself, but we really like to explore how you've gotten to where you are. So why don't we talk about little Kyle and then make our way up into present day?
well, start asking some questions.
Yeah. So you started racing when you were 4.
Yes, yeah. So I started in go-karts when I was almost 5 years old, and I'll give you pretty much the longer story of it. I started in karts when I was 4. My parents bought me and my 2 older brothers a go-kart for Christmas when I just turned 5, and neither one of my older brothers wanted anything to do with it. They
Is that just
both-
because you were faster?
No, maybe. No, but my oldest brother was a soccer player, and he actually went on to be semi-professional in soccer. And my middle brother wanted nothing to do with it. He did not find any enjoyment in it, and it was really just a hobby for me and my dad to go out and do on weekends, and it turned into something much bigger where guys were like, hey, there's, for instance, Emerson Fittipaldi's kid was here, like some very big, well-known names in motorsports were all racing in South Florida, and I was just as good, if not better, than some of these very well-known race car drivers' kids. And they're like, hey, you're actually really good. You should try and do something. Like, you can make a career out of this. And and it turned into something much bigger than we could have ever expected.
So
it was just a hobby at first.
So you go from karts to then you go to like a shifter kart.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be I actually drove my first shifter car when I was like 8.
Okay.
Which people don't realize how fast shifter carts are.
Those are crazy.
They're 325 pounds. They make
Jeez.
about 50 horsepower, and if you put them on a road course or something like that, they'd be doing 140 miles an hour around Daytona or something. So, which is insane for an 8-year-old to be driving, right?
No
Right.
kidding.
And so that's kind of the evolution process. You start in lower level, like 50, 80 cc, 125 cc, up into shifter karts, and then you get into lower level racing cars, whether it's like MX-5 or somebody was talking to me about sprint cars or like a stock car
Yeah.
or a small open wheel car, and I actually did both. I did both open wheel and some MX5 Cup stuff when I was 12 years old.
So all hard surface, or did you ever get into dirt?
I never did any dirt stuff. I've never even driven on dirt.
Really?
Outside of maybe like a Polaris Razor around somebody's property.
Right.
I've never driven on
So
dirt.
I grew up in sprint car
Yep.
country. So Knoxville is not too far from us. Knoxville, Iowa.
Of course.
It's about an hour from us, and so my ex-uncle was a big Sammy Swindell supporter for
Okay.
TMC,
Yep.
and we always were down there. And man, I love watching them sprint cars.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that big in South Florida, right? So
Right.
it was never really a thing that I was brought into. But now that I've gotten into IndyCar, there's such a big connection between all forms of motorsports, but
Right.
also sprint cars and IndyCar, because some of the biggest
What was that?
series are in Indy, right?
Yeah. So sprint cars. Did you get to meet Kyle Larson when he was racing with you guys doing the double?
Yeah, at the 500, I met him. I've actually known his family for a while, but I'd never met Kyle himself. His sister, I do some sports car stuff, kind of on the side. It's really through the off season.
Side job,
sports car stuff, and IMSA, Daytona 24 hours, Sebring 12 hours, stuff like that. And his sister is one of the main people on the organization that I'm with there. So I've always known her and Kyle's parents for a handful of years now. But no, I met him for the first time at the 500 this season.
I think that guy's an alien. He can race anything and be good at it.
He is really good in a lot of forms of motorsports, right? I think he's the most diverse driver.
Is
in
that
the world.
sentiment, like, is there an undertow in your series, like when a driver comes from another series and is just as good as anybody else, or like, are you?
We respect it.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know if it would be the same if an IndyCar driver went to NASCAR. If I'm being honest, you watch those guys and they're just like, you're not in the series, you're getting bashed out of the way.
Well, in NASCAR, it's almost like WWE. Like there's like personalities, right?
There is,
like
yeah.
heels and all those guys. Like,
no, we actually respect it, right? He comes in and he proves his worth. And he knows how to race in those situations, which is a much different discipline than NASCAR, and we respect it. So he came in and did a very good job. Unfortunately, that was it 2 years in a row. Kind of didn't exactly work out for him timing-wise, but yeah, I mean, he's a phenomenal driver, and he's got many different disciplines. So we look up to him massively.
Yeah.
What do you do if you're driving and flies keep just flying around? Like,
yeah, what's up with that? They just showed up.
Hold on.
While we started.
Somebody up here before you got here.
Yeah, right.
So it's Florida.
Yep.
And tell me how you train. What do you do to be a race car driver? So you grew up, and then you got to get good somehow.
Yes. So many people don't realize how physical one of these cars would. A lot of people think of motorsports as just driving your car down the road, right? It can't be physical. There's no way. It's like golf. That's not the case. Sorry.
It's really not that physical.
Yeah, it's not, right? It's like
I've been sore after golfing before.
Yeah. I mean, okay. But no, like the car gets to in the cockpit, if it's 80 degrees or more ambient outside, you're getting into 120 inside the cockpit. You're pulling 4 to 5 Gs. You're hitting pedals is pretty much as hard as so at least the brake pedal you're hitting as hard as you can, just with the amount of downforce that you're making, and you don't have power steering, so you're about 40 pounds of steering effort in each direction in constant loads for 2.5 hours. Like my heart rate will sustain about 170 at some of the harder races. And a lot of that's due to the G forces and heat itself, because for every Celsius that your body goes up in core temp, your heart rate raises 10 beats per minute as well. And then your body's also trying to force blood back into areas of the body. Like if you hit the brakes and blood's rushing down, it's trying to force it back up, and it's creating circulation. So it becomes very physical in one of these cars, which people I don't think recognize nearly as much as you'd think.
Do you guys get to wear cool suits?
We do, but it doesn't do much.
Really?
It does almost nothing. Because the cool suit box that we run is about yay big, and it weighs 4 pounds in total, the whole system, because we're so we have to pay attention so much to weight that if it's hotter, you're like, is it on? Is it off? I can't really tell. So it's not doing a whole lot for you.
Yeah, I got the honor to ride in the double IndyCar,
two-seater.
the two-seater
Yep.
at Iowa.
Yep.
And the G-force that you're talking, and obviously we weren't going as fast as you guys were around the track, probably 130, and going into the corners and stuff. Yeah, it was hard to keep your head straight.
Yes. And
it's very
ovals,
physical.
fortunately, we run a pad
Yeah.
where your head is pretty much just pushed to the side like this, and then as you gain G's, it kind of loads into the pad a little bit, so you're not really necessarily holding your neck up. But for road and street courses, yes, it is very tough on the neck. Any normal person would get in, and their neck would be flying all over the place after a couple laps.
So how do you stay hydrated?
We have a drink system in there. If I'm being honest, I almost never use it because you forget to. You're so focused in on just doing everything right that you forget to press the button to drink water. So I just stay extremely hydrated before an event, and after it, I'll just deal with the hydration and get rehydrated for whenever the next race
Yeah,
is.
that starts several days ahead of the race.
Yeah, it's a whole week leading up to it. You got to make sure that you stay hydrated. You can't lose hydration and expect to get it the day before an event. So
Did we offer him a bottle of water?
they did earlier. We're good though. We're good.
He's probably got drink sponsors. He probably can't have
That's fair. Take all the
Ice
labels off.
Mountain, Walmart water.
So we've kind of been following that track of where you've gotten to. We talked a little bit about what you do to train. So when did you get on the Andretti team?
So I started with Andretti actually quite a long time ago. It was 2020 I guess not that long ago, but in 2020 I joined the team for Indy Lights. COVID hits. I take a hiatus because the series. Well, I didn't take a hiatus. The series took a hiatus, and pretty much didn't have anything. So I come back in 2021, race Indy Lights with the team, win the championship, but there's no seat available for the IndyCar program. So for 2022, I went to AJ Foyt Racing in their number 14 car, and in 2023, I came back to the team and was in the 27 car since then. So 23, 24, 25 now. I've been with them for 3 seasons.
Is that like a job application that you have a resume? I started at 4 years old. I did this, and you scout them, or do they scout you?
No, they scout you. I would say it's you can't you don't go to somebody and like show them your resume. They know who you are already, and they're making a decision based on what they're seeing right in front of them in this situation. So it's not like a typical job resume. Like, hey, do you guys want to hire me to be a driver? No, they have to watch you in various forms of other.
Well,
it's like baseball in
I was
that
just
way.
saying though, is it like football to where they can trade you from team to team?
You know, I would have to look at a contract to know, but I believe, yes, they could. But there's so much proprietary information with how one of these cards are built.
They don't want to lose.
They don't want to lose drivers. They don't want to lose engineers. Even if a driver's not doing something well for the team, they still have so much information that they don't want them sharing it.
Do
with
you do
another
any
team.
work on the car? I thought you just drive.
No, I do just drive, but I know exactly what
Yeah.
goes into it, right?
Okay.
Because anything that they do on the car, I'm told what it is, and then I have to go and feel it and see what is faster and tell them what is happening with the changes that they make. So in many ways, the drivers are very involved with the changes, although I'm not the one making the changes, and neither are the engineers, right? The engineers aren't physically doing anything on the car. They're more or less just telling the mechanics. So it's hard to lose mechanics too. So it's not the same as football.
Well,
or
everyone
baseball.
is good drivers at that level, right? So you probably the ones that can feel it the best and communicate what's going on the best to get a better cart from your team.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, it's very driver oriented in what you need out of the car and what to expect to make things go fast. So your feeling is in many ways more important than what's data driven.
So you're like a super small fit guy. Is there
That's like a backhanded compliment.
It's true. I'll take it.
like fit in a small space?
Correct. Yeah.
Do you have to keep like a certain weight requirement?
Yeah.
Because the I'm thinking of jockeys,
Weigh-in.
and they have to keep a certain weight. You
No,
have to-
there's an important aspect to keeping a certain weight in it, and it's more a realm than anything. But the ideal weight to be in one of these cars is about 160 pounds.
Really.
And for a few reasons. If you're any lighter than that, then you got to add a lot of weight to the car. Plus, you're getting on a little bit on the small side to be physically fit to drive the car. And then if you're any more than that, then you don't have enough weight going into the car to be able to make a changeable option on weight distribution. So you want to find that 160 is about that sweet spot, which most drivers are. All of us are about if you look at the spread of the field, they're about 148 to like 172 is like the weight spread across everyone, and I'm right there in the middle of them. So
it's not like if you gain a pound over the weekend, you're punished.
you know what? No, you do have a weigh-in the beginning of the weekend, and that dictates your weight for the rest of the weekend. So you kind of want to be heaviest for that one.
Okay.
And then the lightest for the rest of the weekend,
Okay,
right? Because a couple pounds, the amount of times that I've lost like qualifyings or something from 1/1000th of a second, which is nothing, right? You can't even fathom what 1/1000th is on a racetrack. And you always think like in a simulation, 1 pound would make that difference. So you're looking for anything that you can get out of this race car. And so you never have that question like, oh man, if I was just 1 pound lighter, we would have gotten the pole. You know, like you never want that factor coming up.
Walk us through a week. So you just got done with a race on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You got 13th, I think. Was that
12th,
somewhere in there? Someone must have got
11th. 11th. Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
sorry.
But what's your week look like? You're here at Farm Progress Show on a Wednesday.
Yep.
But what's a normal week?
Normal week would be Monday's typically a recovery day, and kind of just getting back in the swing of things. Also, kind of debriefing, kind of understanding how the race went, doing some reports, and then Tuesday is our meeting day. So we do about 3 or 4 hours of meetings on Tuesday to understand how the weekend went, what changes we did was good, what was bad, what we would do going back. Which a lot of things are hindsight's 2020, right? Especially with races that are a little bit of lotteries.
Yep.
But they're good to also just reflect on and understand. That way you kind of build a report from after that race, that way when we come back to say Iowa next year, we know exactly what we did well, what we did wrong, and it gives us a really good reference to kind of just jog our brains again. So that's what Tuesday looks like for us. And then Wednesday you're looking at it, right? Like it's typically events leading up to it. And then you gotta also fill your time. I gotta still be in the gym between some of these. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are typically I'll try and find something to do in the gym, but also doing events and leading up to the next event is typically what it looks like. And then you're back into Friday where it's either on-track activities or meetings or getting prep for the next weekend, which this weekend, because it's a Saturday, Sunday event, it's more meetings than anything.
Any simulator during the week?
I will be on the simulator tomorrow. Yep,
Okay.
That is actually another thing. But we don't get as much simulator days as you would expect. We're a little bit limited on it. You get about 10 days per year. But tomorrow is one of our days, yes.
So, of course, the sponsors, there's all kinds of sponsors on every car. Meets for a whole lot of meet and greets and a whole lot of signatures. And does that get old after a while? Do you want to just be like, just let me drive the car? Or is it just part of the job?
Not really. It's definitely part of the job. It makes things enjoyable because you realize that people appreciate what you're doing, right? So in many ways, it's actually quite fun. But it does take a lot of the time away from working on the race car and working on, because there's so many things you can look at. So it's actually it can create a challenge in many ways when you're at the track and you're doing a lot of these things, because you only get 15-20 minutes to look at things and understand, talk with your engineer, and then you're off at various events. But that's a world that we all live in, and we have to adapt through that, and every driver has pretty much the same schedule.
Yeah, we printed off your stats before the last race, so we don't have this last weekend in it.
Yep.
But you've been doing pretty well. About half the time you're in the top 10.
That is true.
Pretty good batting average. Several hundred laps led.
Yep.
You led a couple of those at the Iowa Speedway.
I did.
That race ended up being a pit stop race. Like the timing of the pits is what propelled the winner to win.
Correct.
And keep folks competitive.
Right. And it's always a double-edged sword at certain races, or certain oval races, I should say, where you're always on the end of, okay, should I pit early and risk it in case if a yellow comes out? We'll gain positions by doing it. But if a yellow comes out, we go a lap or two down because the time lost to pit's always longer than what a lap is there. So the leader actually laps you. And you're always playing that. And we played on the safer side, which ended up putting us in a position where we didn't catch anything that was positive. But at the same time, we would have looked like heroes if a yellow came out at the times that they usually do. So Iowa wasn't a great weekend for us, but we had some really good weekends this year, right? We won 2 street races. We won Long Beach, which is really our second biggest race of the year outside of the 500. Gateway was another good one for us, and then also Detroit, which was a huge event for us as well. So we've had a good season. It's been up and down in many ways. The last few have not been incredible, but we're closing it out here in Nashville, which we should have won last year.
It was fun to see the Sukup logo in the lead.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was.
I feel like Steve got on your radio and just, I don't care, stay out. And,
get some. Lead some laps here. Yeah, lead some laps here. Right?
Lead some.
Yeah, no, it was great having Sukup there too, right? Like Iowa brand at an Iowa event, and we all love going to, and that's our only double header weekend of the season.
I don't think they're going to do a double there anymore.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah. Are they going to come back though?
I have no idea. I'm just told where to go. I'm just a driver.
I hope you do, because we don't have any like professional like sports like football or basketball. So like this is our professional like IndyCar and NASCAR now.
Right.
So we really enjoy it. We sell it out for NASCAR. I felt like it was a little light on the IndyCar this year.
It was this year. This year it was. Yeah. But our previous season or previous races there, it was incrable. It was also we had Post Malone and had some major artists. Yeah.
So as you obviously put a lot of focus into racing during the season, but is there another sport you're a fan of?
A lot of sports. I'm just a sport fan in general. I watch a lot of football. I watch college NFL. I watch a ton of golf as well.
Is it true that it's hard for you to watch sports because you're such a competitive person?
A little bit. I would say, it gets me maybe a little bit too amped up sometimes, like the anxiety that sports give you when you're watching, it makes it a little bit tougher, I would say. Even watching races, I get more anxiety watching races than I do driving myself, just because you're not in control.
Not in control.
Right?
Yep.
So, yes, in ways, yes, but I am a huge sports fan.
Wouldn't that be funny if you reacted the same way, like watching Millennial Farmers YouTube channel, like you watch somebody else
have to watch,
and you get to
Don't tell them. What's the coolest thing? So you've had this awesome career, and now you're a driver. Is there something cool along the way that you're like, I can't believe I'm here? Wow, I got to meet that person.
That's the 500 for us.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the Indy 500 for us. For instance, like Terry Crews was hanging out around my car for the 500 this season. Like stuff like that's just incredible. And it's we get one event a year that we're superheroes, and it's that event every single season that we come back there. I mean, sold out this season, and I think it was 350,000 fans, which it turns into the biggest single day sporting event in the world.
Jeez.
And it's unlike anything else. So that's the one that I would say is absolutely incredible, that we always look forward to every single year.
So how did you get set up with Sukup? Obviously, they were the premier sponsor for Iowa Speedway this year. Did they come find you, or were you looking for something?
Where's Steve at? Steve's still hanging around here? Did he take off? So Greg, who is also around here as well, he's one of the guys on our team. They've been talking for a long time. So I think since 2019, there's always a conversation. They're trying to figure out a way that we can get this alliance together, and it just so happened we didn't have a primary sponsor for the Iowa Speedway. They were the title sponsor, and this opportunity arose where we could connect both of those together, and worked out great for us as a great alliance between the two. Steve is wonderful. The whole Sukup team and family. I went and visited their space there in Des Moines, and no, it was a great alliance, and it's cool to have an Iowa native company on the side of your car in Iowa when you're racing in Iowa. So.
Meet Maya Cornheads, built better for over 40 years to power through down corn, high yields, and tough fields without flinching.
These durable, low-maintenance heads mean less downtime, less grain loss, and more profit per acre. They have the option for down corn attachments or direct-driven chopping. They ensure that your combine will move smoothly, fast, and full at all times.
Don't just harvest your fields, conquer them. Visit MayaCornheads.com to find the dealer near you.
Steve told us, too, he's been an IndyCar fan forever, loves going to the Indy 500.
Big Andretti fan too.
And a big Andretti fan.
Yep.
So it seemed like a match made in heaven with an opportunity like that.
It certainly was. It certainly was, and you know, it was cool to see the joy on his face, seeing one of his cars go around the circuit there at his event. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was a good weekend for us.
How many people total? So we got to come to the race, and there are PR people, there are mechanic people, there are people just move equipment, the drivers of the trucks, the people that go and get the sponsors, the drivers, of course.
The actual pit crew.
How many people does it take to make up an entire team?
You're talking about one car, or for instance, like our 3-car team?
Let's go.
Well, I mean, I would just divide them anyway, it's pretty even. We're at the bigger events. We're about 100 personnel for the 3-car team.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a lot of people working behind you.
33.3333 whatever people per car, pretty much is what you're looking at, which is insane, right?
Yeah.
You have about 12 people that are hands-on with the car, between engineers, crew, pit stop guys, et cetera, and then you have everyone else that's around. You have people that are running hospitality, making sure that the trailers are there, making sure everything else is kind of aligned throughout the weekend, and it turns into a fairly big number. So you're right around 80 to 100 per weekend, and it depends what the weekend looks like how many guests we have, how big of an event it is, where the event is, also dictates how many people are at the event.
So Tanner did some stalking on you, research on you, and found out that you have a girlfriend named Vicky. Is she on the team?
No, she's not on the team. Wait, why did that question come up?
I was just wondering if she was one of the crew that you might have.
No. She lives in my hometown. I've known her since we were in high school, and even though we didn't even go to the same high school, and yeah, she knows nothing about racing. So,
really?
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes that's the best.
It is the best, honestly.
Do your job, she does her job.
Yeah, she doesn't get too animated in it too, right? So it's actually a nice balance there.
That's cool. Well, we want to be respectful of your time. We know there's people here also to see you. It's been a pleasure to connect. Hopefully we get to do it again. Hopefully that Sukup partnership stays intact and is long running. And I got a sign language from Corey that means I can't rap yet.
I have 3 rapid fire questions.
Yeah. And then I've got one at the end.
Bad wrecks. Have you had a bad one that's kept you out for a while?
No, nothing that's injured me, unfortunately. But I've had bad ones, yes.
Can you have life insurance?
Can he?
Good question.
Oh, I don't know how expensive that would be, but I'm sure you could. Well, you as a driver, and I think many athletes have permanent and temporary disability insurances, which isn't really life insurance, but it's if you crash and you get injured, you'll have a insurance policy that will cover your contract. So.
Obviously, you drive more than Indy cars. You drive some supercars and things like that.
Yep.
What's in the garage? What's in your garage?
So that's the luxury of being a racing driver. You don't have to own a car. Yeah, so I drive. Here or in the Midwest, I should say, is a Acura MDX, which is courtesy of Honda and Acura, the same company, and then I race for Lexus in sports cars. So currently, I have an IS 500 in Florida.
What about when you're not racing anymore? What are you gonna buy? Or is that just like a life?
Man, you know, I'm not a huge new fancy car fan. I like older stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like an old Mustang would be cool. I always just get on car gurus and look at random old stuff too, right? And look at like old Toyota FJ Cruisers, and that's what I would end up getting is something older, a little bit more raw.
And then, what would you do if you didn't make it racing?
I would probably be a boat captain, if I'm being honest. Yeah, which is
like a sailboat or a
like a
yacht,
fishing boat.
Likely not a yacht. Mostly probably a sport fish or something like that. I grew up fishing. I own my own boat now and go fishing pretty much any day I can when I get home, and I love that. So that would probably be my backup.
Very cool. Those are my
cool.
Yeah.
And then you had one.
Great. Yeah. No, I just have a rumor that I want to dispel. You don't listen to podcasts.
I don't really listen to podcasts.
I don't.
Yeah.
We're going to change that.
Yeah.
Let's change it. Yeah.
Now that you're right. For profit, we'll
We'll wrap the car next year.
You're going to be. Yeah.
Hey, Rachel, don't listen to Corey. No, I
Or
just
blue
want-
and green would look good on there.
It would.
Yeah.
It would.
Absolutely. No, this has been a pleasure. Appreciate you taking time out of
course.
your spot here in the Sukup booth at
course.
Farm Progress. We wish the best of luck rest of the season.
Thank
Go
you.
get some big wins, lead some laps.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to
Well,
say.
we got one to go.
It's
Nashville. It's this weekend, so see how it goes. We were really good there last year. We should have won. We got held out by a yellow, and still almost won. So we want to redeem ourselves at that place.
That's great.
Oval or street course?
Street course, but that's a bit biased.
Yeah.
We've been really good at street courses, so
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's good. A win's a win, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, appreciate it. Thanks for hanging on with
course.
us. Listeners, we appreciate you listening. Everybody in attendance, thanks for hanging out. Now you can come and have time to sit and chat with him in person. So
Cool.
have a
Awesome.
great day.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Farm for Profit Podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm for Profit Podcast.